culture, and the modern world. In this topic, we are going to learn about print revolution and its impact. As the printing technology advances, time and labor required to produce the books reduced. Books flooded in the markets. In earlier days, only literate and high-class people only used to read books. But as the cost level decreased, the books reached towards a common man. In earlier days, world of oral culture was prevalent. Elders listened the sacred texts, ballads and folks. This knowledge was transferred orally to other people. Now, religious people like monks, gurus also like to read the books. They said that books give ideas to think differently and move them to action. In 1517, the religious reformer King Martin Luther wrote 95 theses which criticized the rituals of Roman Catholic Church. His writings immediately reproduced in large numbers. His writing led to a division within a church and beginning of a Protestant Reformation. About 5,000 copies of Martin Luther's New Testament sold in only few weeks, and its second edition appeared in market in next 3 months. In 16th century, Menocchino Miller in Italy began to read books in his area. He reinterpreted the message of Bible. The reading mania. In 18th and 17th century, literacy rate went up in most parts of Europe. Churches of different subgroups started new schools in villages which carried literacy to peasants and artisans. In England, penny chapbooks were carried by petty peddlers known as chapmen. They sold it for a penny so that everyone can buy it. In the early 18th century, newspapers contains the news about current affairs with entertainment news about wars and trade business were also covered in it. The scientists make discoveries were widely printed on the journals and books. The writings of great thinkers like Thomas Paine, Voltaire and Jean-Jacques Rousseau were widely printed and read. French Revolution was highly influenced by the writing of these great thinkers. The idea of the French Revolution were epitomized in the books written by the great thinkers. The ideas of Voltaire and Rousseau hand to heart in the form of books. From the end of 19th century, primary education were compulsory, so children became book readers and writers. Printing in 19th century. The Grimm brothers in Germany compiled the traditional German folk tales from peasants. Printing presses were set up in France in 1857 to provide literature for children. In 19th century, women readers were increased and the women novelists like Jane Austen, Bronte sisters and George Eliot created a new type of woman who is strong and determined. In 1874, a big advertisement was pasted at the railway station in England. Summary. Gutenberg stated first printing press in 1430. With a new printing technology, cost of books reduced and demand of books increased. Now trivial cultures, folks and ballads were also written in books. In 1517, Martin Luther's New Testament was very famous. About 5,000 copies were sold in England. Penny chapbooks were famous for the new readers. Scientific discoveries were famous that were published in journals of scientists. That is all in this topic. Keep learning.